I think that's what the show perpetuates, and it made us, instead of fetishes and freaks, it turned us into artists and, you know, respected people of the community.
Hello all, I'm Travis Cronin, Entertainment Director with Us Weekly, here with the show Drag Us Weekly, where we try to drag the tea, the love, the secrets, and just all the good things out of your favorite drag queens in the world. And today we are joined by Atlanta's own queen, the gorgeous, the radiant, Nicole Paige Brooks is with us. How are you, Nicole?
I'm good. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
I am doing great. And first, show the kids the mug. The mug.
This is my mug, the Nicole Paige Brooks mug on a mug.
It is gorgeous.
Go to NicolePaigeBrooks.com and get yours today. I think that we have a collection of 4 mugs right now. We have the MPB FAG mug. We have the Shauna Brooks mug. We have the Ashley Cruz mug.
Go buy all of her merch. Tip a queen, support a queen.
Yes.
Now, Nicole Paige Brooks, I've got to ask you, RuPaul is now the #1 Emmy award-winning person of color after the last Emmys.
Right.
How does that feel for you to be a part of it and, you know, to know Ru and see that happen to her?
She has more Emmys than Oprah?
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, for anybody, to have more Emmys than Oprah. Black, white, you know, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. I mean, I think it's amazing.
She's just a person that won a lot of Emmys.
Yeah, why can't it just be, he won a lot of Emmys.
How do you think the show has changed from watching it from the outside from season 2?
Oh, well, when we originally went on, what I went on there for was kind of show the dressing room activity, you know, all the things that go on in a normal dressing room. You always have like the legend, the icon, and you always have like the new queen, the dancing queen, black girl, white girl, you know, a camp queen, a monster. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I liked that it showed all that, and it showed the work. Season 2 and season 1 kind of showed more of the work that went into it. Now it's more like an Amazon shopping show, the actor's workshop now. You know what I mean? I feel like, but I'm down for all that. So I mean, it perpetuates all the queens in different directions that they're really not thought about even being as actors, singers, you know, hairdressers, seamstress, makeup artists. And that's really what my point of going on that show was. It shows that we are true artists, and some of us do it all ourselves. So that's a whole nother level of artists. So I think that's what the show perpetuates, and it made us, instead of fetishes and freaks, it turned us into artists and, you know, respected people of the community.
And if you were brought on as a producer on the next season, would you have it be less about the amount of money of clothes that you can buy there and more about the actual work that goes into being your own drag queen head to toe?
Yeah, totally. Well, because I mean, I'm a pretty self-sufficient person. I do almost everything head to toe myself. So, I mean, I'm not a seamstress by any point, but I can get it done, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's just the time we live in. You can just order anything off. But I mean, my mother, Shauna Brooks, she kind of raised us to the mindset of, if you make it yourself, and nobody else will be wearing it. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to run into the catsuit I'm wearing on anywhere in the country when I'm traveling, because I made that map myself. Whereas sometimes you walk in and there's 2 or 3 girls in the show, and they all brought like a black rhinestone catsuit that was just slid different, or, you know, I'm just like, okay, I guess y'all all shop at the one store in town, or it's Amazon. You know, I've just never been of that frame of mind of not really a shopper for outfits. I mean, like this, of course, but I mean, not for my costumes and things I wear on stage.
And how do you think your drag has changed since viewers saw you on the show? Have you, you know, done different types of queens? Are you wearing different types of looks? How do you think the Nicole Paige Brooks experience has elevated?
Well, I was already, 15 years doing it when I went on the show. So I'm pretty established in the way I look. This is how I look. You know what I mean? I can do whatever you ask me to do. That's not the issue. You want me to dress up like a clown, I can be a clown. You want me to be scary, I can be scary. But that's not my aesthetic. It's not my brand. You know what I'm saying? This is how I look. So I don't really think that my look has changed. I haven't done the All-Stars touch-up. This is still my original face. So, you know, I just, as far as they're like your glow up or whatever, I mean, I was sickening then, I'm sickening now. I don't really, and I think that's kind of the point of going on to All Stars would be, you know, is that now that I'm maybe more mature is the only thing that I can say. You know, I think my tongue is less loose, but a lot sharper. You know what I mean? Like, I used to just cuss everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who comes to me, and it used to be, and then I'm like, girl, I just spent 20 minutes going off on this queen I never heard of before. And then I started to realize, oh, these people are coming over here and trying to get you to cuss them out. So they can go home and be like, Nicole cussed me out last night. So I stopped doing that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, but if you say something crazy to me, I will respond to your ass. You know what I mean? But it will just be a real quick one. I won't spend a lot of time wasted on cussing you out like I used to.
I feel like anyone who knows you knows that you are one to like come for people. If they come at you, you are going to let them have it.
And the majority of, yeah. I mean, if I know you, I can really get you together. So that's another thing. It's like, I used to be really like, So, you know, I've said some hurtful things, and once it falls out of your mouth, it's really, you can't reel it back in. So I've been I'm more mindful of like, you know, I'll take a pause before I make you cry. You know, in the first go around, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to make somebody cry just because they said something off color to you, but you do need to sometimes you just have to get people together. They can come over and say any old thing to you, and you know, no, you can't. That's why I look like a bitch from across the room, because you have to have nerve to even approach somebody like me, you know what I mean? If you can get through the 15 people that I'm already hanging out with that I want to talk to, then maybe, you know what I mean? I'm usually at least 3 deep with my friends already, so.
That face is so sickening. It looks so gorgeous. Do you paint for sort of like, you know, Southern lady? Do you paint for sort of that, like, don't come at me?
I'm a woman. I was raised by trans women. Shauna Brooks is a lovely Black trans woman. All my influences are trans women. I'm a female impersonator. Mm-hmm. That's what I am. I'm not a drag queen. I'm a female impersonator. When I turn and walk past you, I need you to go, wait a minute. I know this is a bar. Is that a woo man or a woo? That's a man. You know what I mean? So, and that's my aesthetic. I'm not trying to. Even when I try to be draggy and I put on this much hair, my face is still this tiny. So I look like, I just don't look, I'm a woman.
And I feel like you are so lucky to be raised in drag by trans women of color, because they give all of us, it trickles down to us. They invent the culture, the jokes, the looks, the everything. And they give this community and all the communities everything that we have.
Yeah. And that's another thing about this generation of drag that's coming up. I mean, when I went on the show, one of the required viewings was Rue. She sent us the DVD of Paris is Burning. You know, it's just like education these kids don't have. I'm very aware of what my peers had to do and my predecessors had to do, because I asked them, you know, like Lena Lust here in Atlanta, she was one of my mentors also at Charlie Brown's Cabaret. And she started doing drag the day I was born. She turned 21. So we always talk about that. Her birthday is July 4th, mine's July 9th. So when I was born was the year she turned 21 and started performing. But it was also the first year of Pride here, and they wore paper bags over their head because they were afraid of losing their jobs when they walked down the street. You know what I mean? Wow. It was like a whole nother level. She also had to get a permit to go perform as a drag performer. You know, Mr. Charlie Brown from Backstreet, has Mr. in front of his name because you couldn't false advertise as I would have to be like Mr. Nicole Paige Brooks on the sign, because you couldn't false advertise that I was really a woman. You know what I'm saying? You always had to have on an article of men's clothing, or you could go to jail. You know what I mean? Stuff like that people are oblivious of. I know that my life is pleasant, and this is a job that I just accidentally stumbled upon because people kept asking me to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that wasn't how it was for people like Lena Lust who started doing drag the year I was born. I mean, we've just come so far in my lifetime and these kids are on Instagram, they're oblivious to the things, you know, that had to go on. I know there's lots of stories that are online, but I don't know if these people are watching them, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they're just walking around with all this opportunity, and they're oblivious of how how they got it. You know what I mean? And that's really, and that kind of thing is sad to me.
Yes, that is how they, the pioneers, the people who fought were trans women of color. They had to fight 4 or 5 times as hard as anybody else doing it, and they paved the way for this. Yeah. So, you know, on that aspect, you know, you lived with Kylie Love, Miss Sonique. Yeah. You know, I have been such a huge Kylie fan because she is just such a performer. She is sexy. How, you know, what can you tell us about living with her, and how happy were you to see her take the crown?
Oh, I was ecstatic. And so I don't know how long they filmed that, but it was a while ago. So I've been trying to, everybody's like, she's on the sound, and I've been wearing it out, but she didn't tell me nothing. She wouldn't tell me nothing. Like, I mean, I think like a couple days before it came out, like it was released, I saw her in Vegas, and she was like, kind of gave me a little bit of a, yeah, I'm on there. You know, it's going to be announced tomorrow. But no, she turned it. She did everything she was supposed to do. And whenever they asked her to turn it up, she turned it up. Whenever they asked, you know, and that's the thing. She follows directions very well. Well, she does now. She didn't use it.
And what, you know, how was that moment for you seeing the finale and seeing your sister, the first trans woman, crowned on this show? How did you personally feel in that side, having such a personal connection to it?
It was kind of anticlimactic because I was in Chicago with my mother, who was competing for Continental Elite, Chyna. And it was airing when she was competing on Friday. So I was like, I told my friend here in Atlanta, I was like, I need you to get up first thing and watch that show and tell me what happens, because I can't be walking the planet with everybody coming up to me telling me what's happening to me. I know. So she watched it and she told me, and she sent me little teasers and clips, because I couldn't find anywhere to watch it in the hotel we were staying in. I didn't know, you know, I think I'm boosting it from my mom, so it's not our Paramount Plus. You know what I mean? So I didn't know the codes. But anyway, so we couldn't watch it that day. So, but I ended up watching it like 5 days later. But of course, I was ecstatic to find out that she won, you know.
Yes. Were you surprised at her growth, or not surprised at her growth at all during the finale?
No, because I know her. So this was something I've seen, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I know she has a personality. She's just not much of a personality. You know what I mean? Like, that's not her persona. I usually host an MC. They call me the mouth of the South, you know what I'm saying? So it's usually like, I think that's more of my talent, where she's much more of a performer than I am. I don't really necessarily think my talent is performing. I think my transformation is amazing. I'm entertaining, and
you're witty, you're fun, you're quick.
I know I look good, and I'm proud of the fact that I usually make everything I'm wearing. So I'm on another. We have different levels. We work very well together because I can introduce her. You know, she doesn't really like to talk, but I was really excited for people to actually see how really kind and nice and just of a sweet person she is, you know, because they don't really show a lot of that in our drag. They always show everybody wants to be a bitch, and, you know, and I get that, because you have to be that way, or else people will come for you. Mm-hmm. You know, people will come for you until you cuss out the right person, then people will leave you alone. You know, and I tell people that all the time. Oh, people are like, people won't stop. I said, well, cuss them out. I said, they won't say nothing to you no more when you let them have it. I promise you.
One and done.
I'm like, I said, tell them they can't talk to you like that. It's not cute. It's not funny. I could be kikiing with you a certain way. Somebody next to us try to join in, and I'm like, no, I don't know you well enough for you to say something like that to me. Mm-hmm. Now I got to cuss you out.
I'm glad that people know now how to come and talk to Nicole.
Yeah.
And what would we expect from a Nicole Paige Brooke show? What are you putting on the stage? What are you proud of right now in your live performance?
Well, I mean, I do the City Winery with Whistle Magazine here, and I host that show. They bring in a Rue girl all the time for that. So, and then I'm also Friday nights, I'm at X here, X10 on the corner of 10th and Piedmont here in the heart of Midtown. So I love that I have a weekly gig here again after pandemic. And I'm traveling, of course. DragCon is coming up May 13th, 14th, and 15th. I'll be there. I haven't had a booth since like the second year, so I'm going to get a booth and commit to being in this one spot for 3 days. I'm trying to convince Chyna to come with me. But the thing is, what I present is I'm pleasant. I want you to come to my show, and I'm not going to be talking about the killing of the outside world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not politics. I'm not talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm not, let's just have a good time. You came here to forget about your bullshit. If you're crying, get out of the front row because I'm not having it. You know what I mean? I'm here to have a good time. I'm not doing political numbers. You're not gonna be crying at the end of my performance. I'm not doing that. I leave all that for you to get home to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you come here, I need you to escape and not think about the killing for 2 hours. And if it was Backstreet Days, that was 24 hours. I can keep you happy for good old 72 if I had to. But I think that's what it's about. You go to a lot of shows and people give you speeches and they want to talk about, I'll say don't forget to vote, register to vote. I'll have registration parties at my thing. I'll do charity events, but we're not gonna be woe is me in the whole night about the pandemic and politics. You know what I'm saying? You can get all
leave that at the door
when you So I think that's what I present. And glamour, I'm Las Vegas showgirl, I'm the queen of the South.
Yes, you are.
And a little Southern hospitality in it. I have a lot of heart. I have a lot of kids. The House of Brooks, we are huge and wide spanning. It's because Chyna was so generous to me with her private conversations and her private guidance that I knew that I really had somebody that was looking out for me. And I also think, the city of Atlanta feels that way about me. There's not a charity event that I won't be called to do that I won't say yes to. It's your own. And I find it insulting when queens are like, oh, how much, to go do charity. I'm like, you don't understand. This world pays for us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Atlanta has given me this life of, comfort that I could not imagine in any other job. You know what I mean? I get to present whatever I want to present anytime I want. And, and I know that my only way to give back is through charity. It's the only way that I can, to actually physically give my time back, and I find it ridiculous when the other queens are like, no, I'm sorry, it's my only day off this week. I'm like, well, you know what? You should be glad you only have one day off. You need to bring your ass to this charity and give your time back. But
how many drag children do you have now?
For all the drag babies living at home, I started out doing charity. The first thing I did, I won a HIV charity, Studs to Stars. It was for people who've never done drag before, whoever raised the most money and tips and stuff like that. And then I went on doing HIV charity, events all over Oklahoma City. And it's just like, that's how I started. So I can't imagine it not being part of my thing,
And how many drag children do you have now? How many have you birthed?
Oh, I have quite a, Phoenix from season 3, obviously is probably my most famous one. Angelica DePage Brooks works with me every single Friday. Then I have Chloe Bonet, who works with Brady for, she's doing research right now for Emory and things like that. Giselle, who is retired, and she's an esthetician here. I have Gavin Page Brooks, who is my only biological boy, not birth given, but he performs as a boy. And then he has his own salon up in Minneapolis. I have Alex Page Brooks, my only drag king. Then I have Alice, really Alice. I have Modeste Vulgaire. I have, I banned a few of them, Kira Mora is like a child through another child that I kind of wrote. Then we have Alyssa Brooks, who is Phoenix's child, but I raised her. Phoenix's terrible mother.
That's a lot of
kids.
kids.
Off the top of my head.
Also, Brooks is large. It's like a mansion.
Yeah. And then I also have a sister, Tara Nicole Brooks is the original Shauna's child, and then I'm second, the most famous, and then the most sought after mother in the House of Brooks. And then Destiny Brooks is my little teeny tiny sister because she's short as fuck. And then that's all the children that I've allowed Shauna to have. She has some more pseudo children that they're not official. They haven't been jumped in by me and Destiny.
They haven't been nected yet by the mother.
And then Phoenix has a lot of kids. Destiny has boys, only boys. She said, I'm not having any girls. She said, I'm not giving up my drag to nobody. And then I have, grandchildren through all my children. So, but currently I have it. I have another drag baby, Alec, who is autistic and backflipping little child, but he's not of age yet. So she's in the grooming stages.
Nice.
So yes, I was about to say that my uterus has been closed, but that was been a lie.
Those tubes are not tied yet.
Not yet. No, I mean, it's just like a generosity that Chyna gave to me. I just can't, and also when Megan Paige Brooks, who's retired and is currently writing country music in Nashville. John Chandler Reynolds, you can go and listen to his music, John Chandler.
Nice.
On YouTube and all the streaming.
All the streaming sites.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell the kids out there, how to support you, what you have going on, where to buy your merch. Tell them how to get in the Brooks, lifestyle and support you as a fan.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm trying to add more House of Brooks merchandise actually to my website. Chyna was the first person that we put on there. We put it on there, and all the money went to her for her Continental Dream. And still, if you go buy something for Chyna, I'll still give her the money. That's at NicolePaigeBrooks.com. My bio is on there. It's got a little history of the House of Brooks on there. Probably needs to be updated. I just got back on Facebook. Currently, it's Brian Nicole. Go add me before I max out. It'll be really quick. Nicole Paige Brooks on Instagram. Nicole Paige Brooks on Twitter. Nicole Paige MPBFAG on Cash App and Venmo.
Yes.
I'm going to be in the UK in December. I'm going to be making the promos for that, so that will be in my link tree soon. I will be at DragCon in May. Buy your tickets for that. I'm in Atlanta at X every single Friday. And, I have an OnlyFans that I don't put anything up on, but if you just really want to go see some stupid on there. It's only $5 for a month, and I pop in there about once a month and post something dumb. So currently it's got a foot fetish sort of theme, so check it out, all you footies.
Great, not a bad idea. Big market, smart idea.
Go and check out my latest foot fetish. I'm about to try on some new boots and some new stuff for today. If you want to get the first look at all my new shoes, I'm gonna be trying them on today.
Nice. Well, get your Cinderella on. Thank you so much.
That's in my link tree. And my link tree is on my Instagram. I guess I should put my link tree on my Facebook, right? Is that possible now? Yeah. I don't know. I have my tech person here today, so I'm going to be doing lots of upgrading of my life online, I think. Good.
Well, thank you so much to the superstar that is the mouth of the South, Nicole Paige Brooks, drag mother extraordinaire, and just lovely person inside and out. Thank you so much for talking with us today, and we'll be back next week. Go support Nicole Paige Brooks.
Yes, go shopping, NicolePaigeBrooks.com. Bye.